Kumiko from the Budget Mom. Come along with me as I strive to live a life I love on a budget that I can afford.
There's something else very, very exciting happening today. I'm going to try not to get emotional over this, but today is a really huge day for me. A lot of you guys have been asking if I'm going to share with you how and what I'm planning to do with my business income for the month of December. So as you guys know, I've kind of gone back and forth in my financial journey between saving money and paying off debt. And just last month, I got back onto the debt payment wagon after spending a couple of months of saving up for some emergency funds to be financially prepared when I leave my full-time job just here in a couple of months. And so because I'm back on this debt payoff journey, every dollar that I can, literally every dollar that I can save is going to be going towards paying off the remainder of my debt. Now, I have two types of debt left. I have my student loans, which equals about $31,000, and I have my car loan, which just got under $16,000 this last week. So those are the only two debts that I have left, and I wanted to make sure that all of my debt was paid off before I started my huge goal of saving to buy my first house with cash. So my financial journey is far, far from being over, but today I'm accomplishing something that I've been wanting to accomplish since 2011. It's a long time. Let me show you. I try sharing my story to remind leaders that there is a way out, that with hard work, dedication, determination, motivation, it's all about having a plan for your money, and that's what gives you the true control. Holy crap, it just changed my life. You're like, oh man, Nico, it takes time, it takes dedication, it takes work.
But no more credit card debt.
Yes, this is what I am deciding to put and throw every penny extra income that I have for December. It went to paying off my student loans. Now, in the beginning of January, this is just a really big deal to me because I remember in January looking at my student loans and thinking to myself, I'm going to have these forever, and this debt is constantly going to be hanging over my head. You know, I've had them since 2011. My student loan debt is the #1 reason why I didn't go back to school to get my master's degree. Getting my master's is always something that I've always wanted to accomplish. It's kind of been on my goal list, and around 2013, I had to really think about my return on investment, if whether going back to school to get my master's was truly worth it versus the debt that I would be coming out of my master's program with, and it wasn't worth the debt. And so I never pursued getting my master's. But all along the way, you know, my student loans was kind of the starting point of my financial journey. It was, now when I look back, it was literally the #1 thing that kind of set my spending problems in motion, having all of this extra income from getting and receiving student loans. I would pay my tuition, but then I would have literally thousands of dollars after that to do whatever I wanted with, and that's when my spending problems really developed. I am very, very blessed, and I am very fortunate that my student loans weren't that bad compared to, I've seen, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loans. Mine was only ever as big as $35,000, but to me, that felt like a 1,000-pound weight on my shoulders every single day. Making that, you know, up to $500 a month payments every single month. Every month, I'm like, goodness, the things that I could be doing with this money. And there were times where I got so angry with myself for accepting all those student loans when I truly didn't need it. And in January, I remember looking at my student loans and my balance had actually grown $2,000 from the previous year because I was not making enough payments to cover the interest. I've been on the income-based repayment method on my student loans for at least more than half of the time that I've had my student loans. And so paying these off and finally being done with a debt that I honestly felt like I would have forever is an amazing feeling. And I look back on every little penny that I pinched, every time I challenged myself to save an extra dollar, every single time, you know, I'd go to Staples and I would say, oh, I need this for my business, I need this, and I had to step back and say, no, I don't need this. I don't need this for the business. It's gonna go towards my debt. Every single decision, every single sacrifice, it was so worth it. So today, I'm going to be going down to the bank, transferring my business income, every dollar, everything that I have left, and I'm going to be paying off my student loans today. I want to let you know, if you have student loans and you kind of had the feeling that I had back in January, that it's impossible, that it's going to be a minimum payment that you're going to have to live with forever, it's not impossible. And every little bit helps. Every penny that you can save to throw at your student loans or your debt journey is worth it. Every sacrifice, every choice, it's worth it, and you can get there. And I feel blessed that I get a lot of messages saying I'm motivating you to take those steps, to put an extra $100 towards your debt. And that's what matters to me. It's those small steps of success to get you to where you want to go, because you will get there. And I'm just really excited, and I want to say thank you just so much to everyone who's motivated me, told me to keep going, telling me that you believe in me, because really that support has made such a difference in my financial journey. And I'm just so glad that I can hopefully give that back to you. Okay, so I just got back from the bank transferring money. I am going to make my final student loan payment ever, and I am so excited. So I kind of hopped on Navient to figure out if there was like a pay all function or pay the remainder, but there isn't. There's only really a custom pay where I have two options. I can direct an overpayment, or I can specify it for each loan. So when you hit direct an overpayment, I'm kind of looking at the screen as I go. Actually, let me show you what this kind of looks like. Okay, so this is what happens and what it looks like when you're directing an overpayment and choosing that option. So there is a place to put up here to pay this amount. So if right now I know my student loans are at $31,889. And when you do that, you can hit the next button. And it's going to give you all of these different options to pay. Now it's telling me that my payment amount of $31,889 includes an overpayment of this amount because it's including my minimum payment of $190.19 in this amount. But when you do this, you can do it by the highest interest rate for your extra payment, your highest current balance. There's all these different options. I don't want any of those. I just want to pay the remaining due on my loans. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go cancel. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit this custom pay, and I'm going to do specify for each loan. With this, it allows me to put in this current balance. I wonder what this arrow does. Oh, it just organizes it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put in my current balance, and that's what I'm going to end up paying. So I'm going to write those in here. So this first student loan, oh, these are such big numbers. I'm hoping that writing the payment amount of what's showing that's current for each loan will just pay them all off. I really wish they would invest in a payoff button. Should we start something on No, go back. No, go back. Here we go. Should we start on something on Instagram for Navient to have a payoff button? I think that would be pretty grand. So I'm just going to write in all of these different loan amounts. If I can type today. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the screen away from my personal information like my bank account, which is up at the top. Okay, so my last one is only $680.25. So I want to make sure that the current balance that's showing for all of my student loans I have written down in the payment amount. And I'm hoping this just ends up paying them all off. So making sure that all of these different loans match the amounts. 59. Oops, they're missing a penny there. Can't forget the penny to Navient. 299.1799. This is off too by a couple of cents. 1442.79. All right. So it looks like I have all these written down and they're matching. Ah, so nervous. Okay, my hands are like all sweaty. 299. I just want to make sure that really all of these have the correct numbers. Okay, so it's telling me that my total payoff balance, when I type in all of these different current balance amounts into my payoff payment amount areas, the total amount equals $31,899.15. So I'm just going to hit preview. It's telling me that I'm going to pay these loans on this date for this amount. Now it's asking me, you made a payment that is equal to or more than the amount of future monthly payments. Do you want to be billed for the full monthly payment amount? Okay, so anytime you're making an extra debt payment past the minimum payment, you always want this option to be yes, bill me for the full monthly amount. So that way it's directed towards your principal and not your next minimum payment, because this one says no, advance my due date by the number of payments I cover. You don't want that option. You're just simply making an extra debt payment towards your principal, and you're going to continue to make your regular monthly debt payments. So you always want this to be yes, bill me for my full monthly payment option. Okay, now I'm going to hit submit. This is it, guys. This is it. I'll be showing you the posted payment in just a second.
If you found this video helpful, please share it and don't forget to subscribe.